Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Soldier's Journal. Today we're breaking down a bold strike, a Ukrainian underwater drone that reportedly sank a major Russian submarine. How did Kiev pull off something like this? On Monday, December 15, Ukraine carried out an unprecedented attack using unmanned underwater drones against a Kilo-class submarine docked in Novorossiysk on the Black Sea. The vessel hit was a powerful naval platform equipped with caliber cruise missile launchers, one of the most feared weapons Moscow uses against targets in Ukraine. The strike came while President Zelensky was in Berlin meeting with U.S. negotiators and European leaders over peace proposals. Facing a clear numerical disadvantage, Ukraine is trying to prove it can still deal significant damage. Using underwater drones is a way to show not only resilience, but also that Kiev can pose a real threat to Moscow's forces, a fact that can strengthen its hand at the negotiating table. The vehicles used, known as Subsea Baby, are unmanned submarines up to about 3 meters long. Think of them as long-range torpedoes, capable of traveling hundreds of kilometers and striking from unexpected angles. They're highly classified systems with little public information available. Kiev has been developing a fleet of these UUVs to hit strategic targets, submarines, and other Russian vessels to weaken Moscow's presence in the Black Sea, a region crucial for maritime control, supply routes, and missile launches. There have been previous strikes on Russian submarines. For example, in 2023, a Kilo was reportedly hit in Crimea by a Storm Shadow missile, but this appears to be the first time underwater drones have been used successfully against a vessel of this type. Despite dramatic footage of an explosion, Russia denied that the submarine suffered serious damage, a familiar response aimed at downplaying the impact and preserving the image of an invulnerable military. The Black Sea is central to this conflict. It's a key route for goods and resources, and it hosts Russia's Black Sea Fleet, which Moscow uses to launch missile strikes into Ukraine. By forcing Russian ships to shelter in port through drone attacks, Ukraine can blunt that fleet's effectiveness and limit Russia's ability to project power across the region. The strike on the docked Kilo can be seen as part of sustained pressure on the Russian Navy in Novorossiysk, in the same vein as Ukrainian actions around Sevastopol that helped push back Russian naval operations in Crimea. Why target a Kilo? Kilo-class submarines are diesel-electric attack subs, not nuclear, built for patrol and strike missions. They can dive to roughly 300 meters, about 980 feet, and have an endurance of roughly 4,000 nautical miles, approximately 4,600 statute miles, or approximately 7,400 kilometers. Armed with torpedoes and caliber cruise missiles, they're dangerous because of their accuracy and stealth. Unlike surface ships that can be tracked from the air or chased by aerial drones, submarines operate tens or even hundreds of meters below the surface, briefly pop up to launch missiles, and then disappear again, which makes them extremely hard to track. That's exactly why these subs are so strategically important. They give the Russian Navy a long-range, precise strike capability against targets in Ukraine, and they let Moscow keep constant pressure on critical Ukrainian infrastructure. The fact that the submarine struck was docked in a Black Sea port with calibers ready to fire underlines Novorossiysk's role as an operational hub for air and sea attacks on Ukraine. Taking out a Kilo has major implications for Ukraine's defense. First, it removes a high-value mobile launch platform for caliber missiles, directly reducing Russia's capacity to carry out precise strikes from the Black Sea. Second, it signals that Ukraine can penetrate and damage Russian naval infrastructure, weakening Moscow's maritime deterrent. Effective use of underwater drones shows that Kiev has technologies capable of threatening one of the world's most feared fleets, and that has psychological effects. Russian commanders must rethink how they protect and move strategic naval assets. Finally, and critically, destroying this submarine boosts Ukraine's diplomatic standing. Demonstrating military capability and resilience in the face of aggression makes Kiev a more credible partner for allies and potential peace mediators. The
impact of the operation therefore goes beyond physical damage. It reinforces the narrative that Ukraine can both defend itself and strike back with precision. As ground fighting continues with brutal intensity, Ukraine's underwater drones represent a significant evolution in modern warfare, where technology and innovation can be as decisive as tanks and missiles. If you haven't subscribed yet, hit subscribe and ring the bell so you don't miss any updates.